Now I'm going to show you a chess game which I believe takes notice of all opening chess principles, from the chess fundamentals through to the more advanced ideas. It's in a good mid-game position that favours you. Not only that, but I believe this opening really emphasises each fundamental to an higher degree. It's very well thought out, very well put together. It's a game between Mark Hayward and Deep Fritz 7. And Deep Fritz 7 in the Human versus Computer Championships went against Kramnik too, and I think Kramnik got a draw. So it's a very powerful chess engine, world Grandmaster level. Now the main focus of this game was to very strongly protect the e4 square from being occupied by any of black's pawns or knights. And the idea was to absolutely dominate the e5 square by perhaps pushing a pawn up there in some way, or by getting a knight on there. So it was to win the advantage of the e5 square and to protect the e4 square. And to do that, queen d2 d4 was played. After that, knight f6. And then it came down to what to play next. Now, if one wants to quickly defend this square, perhaps moving knight to d2 and bishop to d3 would be good. We've already got some central control. So now we need to develop and to take care of this e4 square. And the idea to do that was a simple e2 instead of knight f3, which would be the usual. We avoided this move and went for this. Black responds with c5, and white responds c2, c3. Now, why move this piece at all? Why move it? There's two reasons. One is that, to keep in mind, black could have traded off. If we go back a move, black could have traded off, we could have traded pieces, but then we're left with an open file that black could have somehow maybe attacked later. We don't want to give black any advantages, so if black's going to trade, why not use the left wing pawn, the queen's English C pawn, if you like, you know. The other reason we move that is so we can take our bishop to d3 and backtrack it to c2 if need be. Now we play this and defend this square. See, now if this guy comes down, at any time we can backtrack it. So these moves are pre-thought out. And knight d3. Black responds with d7, and so now we've protected this square, and now there's becoming mounting pressure on this square, which we'd hopefully want to occupy with something. And so the next obvious move would be f4. Now we've got two guys defending this square, and again we're still protecting this one. So now we're still wanting to develop now, getting good central control. We're wanting to develop quickly so we can castle. Black castles and we castle. So we're not behind. We're on an equal par, if you like. But we're winning here. And so this opening has come to the point where we've got terrific control, central control. We've castled, and now we want to use our rook, if possible, on an open file. We're going to call this the end of the opening and into the mid-game. And now it's a case of understanding the dynamics. Understanding the situation, the strengths and weaknesses, and where to go from here. And black on this move carefully tries to knock White's bishop, which is on a strong line of play, but White was prepared and just simply moves to c2. Now, the disadvantage for White is really on the left side. Left rook isn't developed. It's kind of hemmed in with the bishop here. But White has good advantage on this side and can move many pieces into play to attack. All these pieces can come in from all these angles to attack Black's king side. And Black is probably going to create this dangerous diagonal against the g2 pawn. And once that diagonal is created, there's pressure on this square here, so we need to be moving pretty quickly into a good position. Now, if Black moves to this, occupies this square, it's got 1, 2 defending. If we're only attacking with 2, it's not good. Black can successfully make that move. So we want to block that and maintain the dominance over the e4 square so that Black doesn't advance. And to do that, we move Queen f3. And this was already anticipated early on. Black covers the bishop, and then we go for our attack. We successfully defended. We're in a good position here, and now we plan to move this pawn into action and get some effective moves happening. Now here Black really has a bit of a choice. A few things it can do. Basically it can move or go for a sacrifice here on this guy. It goes for the sacrifice. Now we must be real careful here in deciding which way to go about it. We've conquered the mid-game position, and in this game the decision really was, do we take with pawn here or pawn here? Well, we must take with one of these two pawns because we're being attacked here. You know. Question is which pawn? And it's a good thing to study. I want you to pause this video and check on that and try to discern which pawn is the best to recapture that with. And I want you to try to answer why.